Musa died because I couldn't find 20,000 naira in time. I will never forget the doctor's voice when he said, "If he had come earlier, we could have saved him." Those words haunt me to this day. My name is Amina, and I live in Kano, Nigeria. Musa was my husband, my partner in everything. He worked as a mechanic, and I sold akara by the roadside. Life wasn't perfect, but we managed. There was food on the table, and our kids went to school. We didn't think much about saving when Musa once said, "Amina, what if something happens? We should save for emergencies." I laughed. "With what? With which money?" I asked. There was always something that needed to be paid for. Rent, food, school fees, clothes. How could we even set anything aside? But in 2021, our lives fell apart. I had finished my business for the day when I sent my daughter to go buy beans for the next day's business. It was a 10-minute walk to the bean seller and back. I was waiting for her at our shade when I dozed off. It felt like a flash. A scene where a woman who wore the same clothes as myself sat on the floor crying, and a young girl was behind her crying too. And I woke up immediately. I rebuked that dream. I spoke in tongues silently, and I pleaded the blood of Jesus upon all the members of my family. 2 days later, Musa came home with a fever. "It's just a headache," he said, brushing it off. By the next day, he couldn't get out of bed. The fever worsened, and I started to panic. I tried to take him to the clinic, but they wanted 20,000 naira upfront to admit him. We didn't have it. I ran to the neighbors and to family members begging for help. Some of them gave me 500 naira, others 1,000. But it was not enough. I wasted 3 days running around. By the time I got the full amount, it was too late. Musa died in that clinic. The doctor said malaria and typhoid had taken over his body. If I had brought him in earlier, he might have survived. I sat there holding my youngest child, numb and broken. I had received the revelation, but my attitude with money still cost me my husband. 20,000 naira cost me the life of my partner. My heart broke so many times. Life after Musa's death was a nightmare. I had no savings and no one to turn to. I sold my sewing machine to pay off debts and put food on the table for my kids. Every day was a struggle. One afternoon, as I sat there crying, weeping from the pressure of raising my kids all by myself, my neighbor, Mama Sule, came to me. She consoled me. But then she said something that changed my life forever. "Amina," she said, "I know you are struggling, but you must start saving, even if it is just 100 naira a day." At first, I thought she was crazy. Save what? But she explained her Kolo fund, an old thing where she kept small amounts of money daily. "It's for emergencies," she said. "It's the only reason I don't panic when problems come." So I decided to try. Every time I sold akara, I put 50 naira or 100 naira into an old Milo tin. Some days I had nothing to save, but I did not stop. It was slow, but yet slowly the tin began to fill. Months later, My youngest child got sick. This time I didn't panic. I took money from the Milo tin and went straight to the clinic. The doctor treated her quickly and she recovered in a week. That experience opened my eyes. Saving isn't about being rich. It's about being prepared. Life will always throw challenges at you, but having something set aside always makes it easier to handle them. Now I teach my kids to save too. Even if they get 50 naira from chores, I tell them to keep 10 naira away into their teens. They don't fully understand yet, but they will understand one day. I wish I had learned this lesson earlier. Maybe Musa would still be here. But I share my story so that others do not make the same mistake. If you think you can't save, start small. Even 50 naira a day can make a big difference. Life is unpredictable, but with savings, you can face it with less fear.